Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? What is up, YouTube? This is a continuation of yesterday's video. Now, we just want to review what actually did sort of few major events which happened last year during the year 2011, and some of them you may want to remember. Okay, number one, October 2011. Former Apple and CEO Mr. Steve Jobs has passed away from cancer at the age of 50. Is it 58 or 59? Yes, he passed away. He was the co-founder of Apple, and he left behind a great legacy. He passed away just 1 or 2 days upon the release of the new iPhone 4S, so it was unfortunate for him to leave, for he is actually one of the primary catalysts on why Apple is here today, because without him, without him founding the company, there wouldn't be an Apple iPhone, there wouldn't be an Apple iPad, MacBook, Mac Pro, whatever you call it. So he left behind a great legacy here. Number two, another key death in in a global scale. Singer and a young female artist, aged 27, Amy Winehouse, was found dead at her home at Camden, London. Uh, that was in somewhere a week before August, about 25th or 26th of July, year 2011. So she was possibly under the influence of drugs. So it's just a reminder that drugs can kill you. If you try to avoid that much drugs, then you will possibly avoid such a death at this young age. If not for her drugs case, she would have gone even further in. So yeah. So R.I.P. Amy Winehouse. Another third person who actually died last year was earlier last week or 2 weeks ago. Mr. Kim Jung Il passed away on board a train. He possibly died of a heart attack. And for one thing, I don't know whether I am for Kim Jong Il or against Kim Jong Il. That one I cannot say, because whether or not he has any dark secrets or dark truths ahead, because I don't study that much of North Korean or South Korean sort of history, but all I know is that he died. For some he was called a leader, others he was called like a tyrant or so-called tyranny. Okay, war in the Middle East. Okay, last year in June, May or June, Osama Bin Laden, the possibly one of the world's most wanted terrorists, was shot and killed during a raid by a special forces team from the United States of America. So a SEAL team actually did drop in, and he actually went and confronted Osama bin Laden, who initially had some bodyguards to help like shield the various gunshots against Osama. Osama bin Laden was then shot and killed in the head. So boom, headshot. Bye bye Osama bin Laden. I don't need you anymore. Okay. Next one. Another tyrant also has died, Muammar Gaddafi. Okay, so Muammar Gaddafi, I mean, he was killed upon capture. So it ended like a long civil conflict in a Libyan war sort of crisis. So that's another key figure which actually died and actually that actually helped so much in the NATO war effort. So yeah. And who else did we forget? Yeah, and after the Iraq War, which thankfully just earlier last week, coalition forces as well as the United States of America forces, the US forces, have withdrawn all troops from Iraq, thus ending what is so-called to be nearly 9 years of conflict ever since Operation Iraqi Freedom. So yeah, since the war on terror that began after the terror attacks about September 11 and following the Iraqi invasion, following the key deaths of Osama bin Laden as well as Muammar Gaddafi, and finally most of the troops have finally pulled out of Iraq, and some of them out of Afghanistan as well. Also, what else do we have that we haven't mentioned yet? Floods in Thailand. Yes, floods in Thailand. I mean, when I was there at Phuket last year around August and September, where there was like a big bad major flood from everywhere. I mean, as a result of the floods, the hard disk prices actually like went all the way through, actually like really pulled through the roof. And Thailand being one of the major manufacturers of a computer hard drives, in the end they had to push their prices up, and that was actually quite a bad thing. In the end, the computer manufacturers actually had to rethink again, and in the end they had to raise their prices on their hard drives, and in the end computers as a whole. So that wasn't really that good either. Okay. In some local key events which happened last year is that Singapore actually had a major election. The whole parliament was dissolved, and this time we actually had like polling day and election day. So polling day when the when a few major of the political parties actually face battle against each other. Like for example, People's Action Party, the Workers' Party, the NSP. Okay, I don't know what it is. PAP, SDP, WP, yeah. Singapore Democratic Party, yes. Yeah, some of the few key political parties actually like sort of sloughed it out during last year's elections. So it so happened that People's Action Party they lost a major GRCs. They really lost one grassroots constitution from Aljunied. And that being said, it actually like it sort of kicked out Foreign Minister Giorgio. So yeah, he was eventually had to step down from his post on PAP. But in the end, earlier, not long ago, he has been asked to step up as advisor for the Workers' Party Aljunied GRC. So yeah, and following the polling days, came the election of three candidates who actually like battled out for presidency. So President S.R. Nathan, Singapore's previous president, actually stooped down from his post as head of state, and it soon became apparent that four candidates, Dr. Tan Cheng Bok, Mr. Tan Ji Se, Dr. Tony Tan, what's the last? Yeah. Dr. Tan Cheng Bok. Okay, let's see. Let's see where I got it right. Tan Cheng Bok, Tony Tan, Tan Ji Se. Shit, did I? Forget it lah. But all I know is that Dr. Tony Tan Keng Yam eventually won the politic, political election. I mean, he became the head of state after just very tight margin between Dr. Tan Cheng Bok and Dr. Tony Tan. So it was just a small handful, possibly a few hundred votes. That's quite tight, for instance. So it's actually quite a battle. So yeah, so Singapore finally had a new president, Dr. Tony Tan Keng Yam. Okay, just again my facts correct. Well, that was really missing there. What are the key events in 2011? Can't say. And oh yes, in the Philippines, former President Gloria Arroyo was being investigated and currently was being investigated in facing charges of corruption. So I don't know when the heck did it happen, but it sort of surfaced out after about 2 years ago. So eventually, the whole thing was probably exposed. So in the end, I guess former President Gloria Arroyo actually was on the verge of getting like a really hefty jail time. So possibly, if she was convicted of corruption, it has been said that she will have to be jailed for probably for life. So yeah. So that's probably what I can think about. Well, reviewing what actually happened to last year. So what can we expect this year? Okay, this year in terms of events, in the USA, from what I've known, the only thing that I've known so far is that President Barack Obama is actually being contested on the seat of presidency. So it's been about nearly 4 years since Barack Obama was being head of state in the United States of America. So it's IO is contesting it now, so we will see how it goes. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so that's possibly what some of the key major events that happened in 2011. So I hope this year is definitely going to go absolutely bonkers. So yeah, anything else? No, that's about it. Other some of the topics I've already like sort of mentioned in my the podcast, so can go ahead and take a look at it if you want. So yeah, that's about it. And this is one of my first couple of videos before I really start to kick the ball rolling. So yeah, that's about it. Now see you guys next time. Gotta go. Excuse me.